Well, hey folks, my name is Brad. If you happen to be new to my videos, I explore the mountains of Vermont, searching for treasure with my metal detector. And today I find myself standing in the middle of nowhere next to this massive old New England stone wall on a property that was inhabited around the middle of the 1700s. Now, several weeks ago, I helped a gentleman find his gold wedding band, and many of my videos since then have actually been filmed on his land. His family and his friends own many acres up here in the mountains, and today we are back once again on some of that property, but for the first time he'll actually be joining us. So when you see him, say hi to Andy. Now, if this is one of the first of my videos that you've seen, I publish one of these every single Friday, so if you like what you see here today, consider hitting that subscribe button, or just come on back next week. Andy and I are going to get these metal detectors turned on, see what we can find. '89, huh?
Sounds like a really good one. See what you think. It's right here.
Absolutely. 88. Oh. You got a coin.
Oh yeah, because I see the head. I see his head facing to the left.
Facing to the left, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a King George II then, right?
It is, if you can see a Roman numeral 2, because they made Connecticut coppers that are that are the same design. They made Vermont coppers that look like that too.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. This is amazing. This just made my week.
So have you found a colonial copper before?
The only one I found is that up at that other cellar hole. I found that it was
George II.
on there. It was King George II, but it was not in as good condition as this one.
Good for you.
So this is incredible. I got a picture for my wife.
Well, Andy said that he had an amazing target, and he absolutely did. This is an area where I did a couple loops previously, the last time I was on this mountain, and I found a couple shotgun shells and I just left. But it turns out there are a few good things here for sure. We have spent a little bit of time cleaning this thing up, and as you can see, there is a left-facing bust. On the left, Octory. Over on the right here, which fortunately we can't see it, it would have said Connecticut. This coin actually flips backwards. Most British and US coins flip this way so that this image is right side up. This one actually flips backwards. If you hold it in just the right light, we can make out a 1788. So after the Revolution and before the mint started mass producing coins, a bunch of the states were making their own coinage. Connecticut, Vermont, New Jersey, New York. What we have here is a Connecticut coin. Very similar to the British George coins of the time. In fact, for a good portion of us finding this and cleaning it up, we thought maybe it was a George II. But that one word, Octory, let us know that it is in fact a state coin. What an awesome find. Congratulations again, Andy. All right, I'm gonna put this away, see what else we can find. 85.
Wow. That's a coin.
No, I think it might be a button.
Really?
Yeah. Big old coat button. Yeah. Is there anything on the front?
Let's see if that GW's on there.
Not this time. Next time.
We're gonna hit it one of these times.
It's the right time frame. There is some engraving, some design, just a little circle in the middle there, but oh no, wait, long live. Just kidding.
You got me excited.
All right, seems like under this tree limb, rotten tree limb, 93.
Ooh. All right.
94. Looks like a coin. Copper. Man, what a spot. So that's 93, 94. I thought there was a pretty good chance this would have been silver. I'm not disappointed, but that's that's what I thought it was going to be. But this particular copper, I can see a left-facing bust. Can't quite make out the text yet. Let's give it a spray. Oh, we got another Connecticut. See the Octori on the left there. In my metal detecting career, I have found dozens and dozens of Connecticut coppers, but I think maybe only 1 or 2 of them have flipped in the incorrect direction. For some reason on this mountain in particular, we found 2 of them now. We'll see if this one is another. So as we flip it up and down, Britannia should be facing up. And she is. Interesting. So this is flipping correctly. Unfortunately, there is quite a layer of corrosion on this particular coin. The date would be down here. So these were made middle of the 1780s, end of the 1780s. I think thus far his family has found a few George coins, George II coins, but so far the only thing I've seen found are Connecticut coins. You can see the wrinkles in his robe there. Incredible spot, especially considering we haven't really found anything else but coins. We found a couple buttons, shotgun shells, shell casings, but a couple old coppers as well. Hard to beat that.
Oh geez, 89. 87, 89.
Could be a big shoe buckle. Could be a golden statue. Oh, that sounds bigger than a coin.
Dang, a spoon.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a big pewter spoon.
That is really neat. That is really cool. Wow.
Yeah, with a hole in it.
Yeah.
Punctured hole.
I wonder what the story is with that.
Yeah, silver plate pewter spoon. That's an oldie.
Yeah. Wow. That is incredible.
What an awesome old spoon. Lead pewter. So we can tell that it's lead pewter because it's this slate gray color on the crumbled edges. But it would have been silver plated. You can see some of the plating is still intact down here at the end. We have this classic design where it meets the bowl. And check that out. That is a hole that has been punched through. And it's particularly funny because just yesterday I published on Facebook a photo of a spoon where the handle had been bent over, somebody had hung it on a tree, and somebody had shot it, right? And I titled the post 100-year-old spoon shot, and it was stainless steel, and I got so much flack in the comments because people were saying that stainless steel is not 100 years old. It is, but I gave in and changed the title of the post because it might not have been 100 years old. It might have been 85 years old. This thing though, there's no doubt in my mind this is period with the other things we're finding, 1780s, maybe as late as 1820, an old pewter spoon that somebody has maybe shot. They might have also punched that hole in so that something drained through slowly. I mean, who knows what the original intentions were, but what an awesome, not just colonial times lead pewter spoon, but something that tells a story. I mean, this is not a hole that developed naturally. This was punched through. You can see it flares out at the bottom. Really, really amazing piece. Nice job, Andy.
Super stoked. It's so cool.
So cool. Can't wait to post this on Facebook with the correct title. $74. Sounds shallow. No way. Got another one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what was that one reading at?
74. But you found a 77 and it was shotgun shell. So that's why, like, particularly places like this where there's an old foundation, we know it's from pre-revolution, and so even trash is going to be cool a lot of times. This read up in the same area as the shotgun shell found moments earlier. It is an old coin. It is quite a bit smaller than the others we have found today. We're going to spray this and see if we can identify it. Oh no, that's a bust. That's a right-facing bust. This side. There's a Britannia. So because the bust is facing right, we would assume that this is a George III, better known as the king who lost America.
That's right.
But we can see the size difference here. Quite a bit smaller than a standard penny. So I'm wondering if this is a farthing, though I'm not sure it's quite small enough to be a farthing. So it may just be a standard size penny that has been in the ground and deteriorated and not shrunk per se, but lost material. This one, unfortunately, in the worst condition of all of them found here, but that's just the way it goes with coppers. You know, I receive so many emails and messages asking, how do you clean these up? And usually the short answer is you usually don't. You know, it's not so much that there's a layer of something that you want to remove to clean it. It's just that detail is just gone forever, unfortunately. More than likely the case with this one, but we have a rough ID on it. And it is an old coin that I am very happy to find. 72. No. Incredible. Well, back in the 1700s, 1800s, and even early 1900s, most folks had a dump right on their property, usually not too far away from where the home was. Sometimes that was their privy, their outhouse, or sometimes they would just choose the closest stone wall to the home and just toss everything on the other side of that. I haven't decided if that's what's happening right here yet, but you can see there's the stone wall right behind me. Right on the other side of that is the foundation. And I thought it was worth a try. My very first target in this very small area is a broken shoe buckle. A really interesting pattern, not one I don't think I've ever seen before with these kind of long rope-like patterns. And the question is, was this broken and lost right here, or was it tossed here as trash? These shoe buckles were broken quite often, I suspect because people were putting their feet in and out of metal stirrups. The rest of it isn't here, so it leads me to believe that it was thrown here as trash, which is pretty exciting. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, but when it comes to 1700s trash, all of it can be very, very interesting. Old buttons, buckles, you name it, we could find it here. Doesn't get much more colonial America than buckles on their shoes. So cool. $70. No way. Different one. A different piece. Yep, totally different shoe buckle piece. I am on the other side of this wall still. I speculated maybe we'd find more shoe buckle, but I didn't expect we'd find a totally different piece of shoe buckle. That's wild. Awesome. How cool is this old stone wall? It's nearly taller than I am. Just about. Their sheep must have been able to jump. 86, 87, sounds great. Ooh, I know what that is. Look at that. Well, you probably remember when you were a kid, money was worth a whole lot more than it is today. You can't buy very much with a $1 bill anymore. But back in the 1700s, money was worth even more. So much so that some things were priced to the half cent. 2.5 cents, 5.5 cents. And what we have here is a 1 cent coin that was actually cut in half to become half a cent. Now, half cent coins that are round and created to be a half cent do exist, but this one is more than likely made in store. We'll give this a spray, see if we can identify it. For sure, here we have Britannia. Unfortunately, the date is down here. But we give this a flip. And hopefully you can see down here the armor of a left-facing bust and some text up here, NEC for Connecticut. Yet another Connecticut copper, but only half of one. Awesome. Can you imagine paying for something with a cut coin to become half a cent? Very different times. Tells such a cool story. Awesome, awesome find. So this target is a beautiful 86 this direction. This way, it's totally gone. So it might be trash. We'll see. Oh, it's in my hand. Feels round. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, I am glad I took the time to investigate that target that was only reading one way. And you know, this area where we're finding all of this stuff, specifically the coins, are in a very small area, maybe 30 by 30 feet. And it just goes to show that you need to go over small areas like this over and over and over and over again from different angles, because I may have walked past over this, I'm sure I did, maybe multiple times from different directions, and the metal detector just didn't beep. Until I came from this way, I heard the sound. And what it ended up being is an absolutely gorgeous George III. You can see the George over here, the third right here. And just like the Connecticut coins, on the reverse, there should be a Britannia. I already peeked, and there isn't. This particular George III coin has a harp. Difficult to see. Let's give it a spray. So there you can see the crown on top of a harp. The date is down here. You can see the 17, possibly 82. Yep, definitely 1782. You can see it says Hibernia up above. Beautiful coin. And just as I was saying earlier, you know, sometimes these coins come out like this, and there isn't really a whole lot you have to do except brush off the dirt a little bit. And sometimes they're just too far gone. We got lucky this time. Wild. What a place. Almost nothing but the classic things we find at colonial sites. Buckles, buttons, and coins. What a coin. Beauty. All right, folks, well, that's gonna do it for me today. Unfortunately, Andy actually had to leave a couple hours ago. He had to go back to work, poor guy. But I had an absolute blast with him here on this property today. What an amazing place. About as good as it gets when it comes to old colonial home foundations up here in the mountains. Many of the typical things we find: buttons, buckles, and so many coins. And almost all of them were different from each other, which makes finding them very exciting. I've got everything both Andy and I found today out. Let's take a look at it all. All right, well, we ended the day with a dozen buttons. Very classic late 1700s varieties. We have the big brass coat buttons, a tiny little pewter one, some that are made out of the white metal. Nice assortment, not much engraving. No George Washington buttons this time, maybe next time. We have the massive old pewter spoon with a hole in it. Was it shot? Was it used for some other purpose, like straining? Unfortunately, we'll probably never know. 2 fragments of colonial shoe buckle, different buckles, different designs, both of them beautiful. And then we have 4.5 cents. We have Connecticut's, a Hibernia, a great variety of old colonial coins. What an awesome day. All right, folks, well, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you for watching. Huge thanks to Andy and his family and his friends for allowing me to find all of this awesome stuff on their land. Hopefully, I will see you next Friday for another new video somewhere out here in the middle of nowhere. Thanks for watching.